It's the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion. This is for Saturday, the 23rd of August. I'm Michael Groff. When you step outside today, it sure feels like a monsoon day, hot and humid. And we will have widely scattered afternoon and evening showers and thunderstorms present across the state, although the best chances for storms will actually be across western, southwest Arizona, southeast California, and maybe up into southern Nevada today. But that doesn't mean we don't have any chances of storms around here, just kind of a low-grade monsoon forecast, and that will be the case for tomorrow as well. But then a fairly dramatic upswing in the number of showers and storms is expected in here on Monday, Tuesday, and even into Wednesday. Perhaps our best chances of storms we've had this entire monsoon season. Temperatures, meanwhile, will be headed down by the first half of this upcoming week. And there's a very realistic possibility we don't even make it to 100 degrees by the middle part of the week. What about late week? Yeah, a lot of forecast uncertainty to talk about there. We'll get into all of that and so much more in just a moment. Hey everyone, it's Michael Groff here to talk to you about your roof. With all the extreme weather we have in Arizona, you need a name you can trust, and that's why you should call Blackstone Roofing Group for all of your roofing needs. Call for your free inspection today. Big or small, they do it all. Tile, shingle, or flat roofing, they can help, offering free inspections and more. Roofing made easy. Call 602-536-9363 or visit blackstoneroofing.com to schedule your free inspection today. And if you tell them Michael Groff sent you, they'll take $500 off the price of your roof replacement. Again, that's 602-536-9363 or blackstoneroofing.com. All right, before we get into everything we need to get to today, first a quick housekeeping matter. Yesterday on the video, I reported that the low temperature on Thursday morning was 93 degrees, which would have been a record. But in fact, the low temperature was 89 degrees, which was established at 11:59 p.m. And the reason for that mix-up was because, well, that's my bad. I put together the Almanac the night before, about 10 p.m. before going to bed. I like to sometimes mitigate my work for the next day, and unfortunately didn't double check there, as that we had a sneaky couple of storms that made their way towards Sky Harbor and cooled it off to an Arctic chill of 89, and so that's why I missed that. So whenever I make a mistake here on these videos, I do like to correct it. We strive for the most accurate information that we can possibly have around here. All right, that said, rolling the Almanac from yesterday for your Friday, 112 degrees the afternoon high, 89 was that morning low. 105 and 83 are the averages for this time of year. A trace of rain officially at Sky Harbor. Looking outside right now just after 9 a.m. Yeah, we've got those cumulus clouds out there, partly cloudy sky. 93 degrees at Sky Harbor. It is steamy though. Dew point at 65. Relative humidity 39%. The winds are light and the barometer is steady. Satellite here across the southwest. We put this into motion for you. You can see what's been happening. High pressure is actually centered to the north of us across Utah today. And that is ideally the best place for it, or at least a good place for it, because easterly flow is in effect. Showers and thunderstorms that develop over the higher terrain of eastern Arizona would be pushed toward the lower deserts. There's a little caveat to that, though. We've got this area of drier air that's sitting off to the east of us. And unfortunately, that is going to mitigate the number of showers and storms we have over the southern part of the state today. Now, that's not to say we won't have any, but it sure looks like the best chances of storms will be coming off the mountains of northern Arizona toward the western part of the state, maybe southwest Arizona, southeast California, and up into southern Nevada. But we could still see some widely scattered storms here. It's really going to depend on how those outflow boundaries propagate into the lower deserts and how they form new storms today. But we'll just have to keep that in mind going forward. That's going to be a big forecast challenge for us. All right, the watch warning map. We still have the extreme heat warning in effect for the Phoenix area. That's through 8 p.m. Sunday. That's for all of southern, western Arizona, southern California, Nevada, a good portion of that state, the valleys of California up into the Pacific Northwest with the ridge around here over the west. It is sizzling hot. Convective outlook for today. We've got a marginal risk of severe storms for parts of the Rockies. As, yes, we will see some scattered showers, thunderstorms, a few severe storms there. Here in Arizona, we're in the green for a good portion of the state. Thunderstorms possible, and of course, any one storm could be severe, but we don't expect any organized severe weather around here. The southeastern part of the state, devoid of most thunderstorm activity today, again, with that aforementioned drier air trying to work its way in. But that will only be temporary, as we'll talk about in a moment. The tropics, good news, Aaron is off the board. A post-tropical cyclone way up in the North Atlantic. Not going to bother much of anyone. Just be a mid-latitude cyclone, may eventually affect Western Europe early next week. We do have some wave action out here in the tropics. We have that system that is north of the islands now. It's out over the central Atlantic. That'll be gaining latitude even if it develops. Not going to affect the United States. That other wave out there east of the islands. Again, not going to worry about that too much either. Just a low chance that develops over the next 7 days. And if it does, it'll be in the Caribbean. We have lots of time to watch that. All right, closer to home, the precipitation outlook. This is valid through next Saturday morning. Rain amounts in Phoenix, 1/4 to 1/2 inch. Decent chunk of the state will see some rain, it looks like, and some spots could see as much as 2 inches of rain. Of course, whenever we show you this graphic, you know what I'm going to tell you. Your amount will vary. The monsoon is kind of fickle that way. Thunderstorms in one neighborhood could drop an inch of rain while you get nothing. And that's just how it's going to be. But we sure look to see an increasing sign of more widespread thunderstorm activity as we get into early next week. And we're going to talk about that right now as we get to the models, see what the future may hold. Here we go. This is the GFS, the 06Z run, valid at 2 o'clock this afternoon. The upper look at 500 millibars, about 18,000 feet off the ground. Now, one interesting feature we have out here is a big upper low over eastern Canada, the Great Lakes, and a surface front is being dragged south across the plain states. Much cooler, drier air is coming in. Almost a subtle little hint of fall for the northern tier states and trying to make its way southward. So we'll watch how that progresses. Now for us, we've got high pressure sitting to the north of us, a mainly easterly flow, somewhat drier air in the mid-levels. So what it means down at the surface for the rest of the day today, partly cloudy, widely scattered afternoon and evening showers and thunderstorms will try to make their way into the lower deserts. Better chances of storms, northern Arizona, and yeah, over the western part of the state. High temperatures this afternoon, 106 to 110, and yeah, it's going to be muggy. And that's why that extreme heat warning remains in effect, because while the mid-levels of the atmosphere are fairly dry, the lower levels, yeah, still pretty steamy. For tonight, widely scattered evening storms, otherwise partly cloudy, overnight lows in the 80s to near 90. And then tomorrow, it's pretty much the same setup. High pressure to the north, easterly flows, still some drier air in the mid-levels, widely scattered afternoon and evening showers and thunderstorms will be around. Now, this is the HRRR. This is actually tonight at 7 o'clock. I thought I'd show you this real quick just to kind of highlight, yeah, a few storms around to the north of us and to the west. But, yeah, the best concentration of storms may be up there, again, by the Hoover Dam, southern Nevada, northern Arizona. Not much here in the lower deserts, but that's not to say we couldn't get a storm, so keep that in mind. Otherwise, the rest of the weekend is pretty much the exact same forecast. A low-grade monsoon forecast in effect. But the weather pattern starts to change notably on Monday. High pressure that's been sitting to the north begins to slide to the south and east. The flow aloft starts to turn more out of the south-southeast, and that's going to bring in deeper monsoon moisture across the region. And so showers and thunderstorms look to increase on Monday. Monday afternoon, Monday evening could be a bit more active here. And so we'll look for an increasing chance of storms. We'll bump that rain chance up to about the 40% bracket here by Monday evening. High temperatures are going to start to come down with the deeper moisture in here. Highs anywhere from about, I'd say 103 to 108 on Monday. And that humidity will remain high. That's not going away. But the real intrigue in this forecast is Tuesday. And that looks like the click to pick here. Or the pick to click for showers and thunderstorms, right? Because a deep southeasterly flow, monsoon moisture plenty around here, and there could even be a disturbance that rotates in. So we're going to see scattered to numerous showers and thunderstorms. Now, they could occur just about any time of the day. Obviously, they'll be most favored in the afternoon and evening hours. We'll probably have more clouds than sun. And as a result, high temperatures are going to struggle to make it to 100 degrees. We're going with highs upper 90s to about 102 here on Tuesday. And we're putting the rain chances up into about that 60% bracket, which is using the words likely. Yeah, we haven't had that this season, have we? So this looks like a pretty good opportunity for storms. That doesn't mean we're going to get storms. It's not a guarantee, but it sure looks like this is a great opportunity for showers and storms. The setup looks fairly ideal with very deep moisture in place. I think the only limiting factor will be the thermodynamics. Will we get enough sun? Will there be too many clouds around? That is something we'll have to watch as we get closer. Here's Wednesday, same story. Considerable cloudiness, scattered showers and thunderstorms. Now, by later on Wednesday, the flow aloft is going to start to switch more southwesterly as this ridge that's been sitting north of us is sliding south and east. And by late Wednesday, it's going to be down there over the Big Bend of Texas. And a trough to the west of us is going to start to nudge in here. And that's going to turn our flow aloft more westerly with time. But Wednesday should still be fairly active across at least the eastern 2/3 of the state, I think. And again, high temperatures on Wednesday without the presence of a strong ridge around and a lot of clouds and moisture. We'll probably stay in the 90s, maybe mid, perhaps upper 90s on Wednesday. All right, Thursday, we are drying out. Still a slight chance we could see a shower or thunderstorm around, though. And high temperatures, again, without the ridge. The ridge is gone. It's way out of here. It's over South Texas. We're under the influence of troughing. And so temperatures, again, may not even make 100 degrees on Thursday. Here's Friday, westerly flow. We're drying out. I'm probably going to just have to take the chance of rain out of the forecast entirely across most of the state. High temperatures, only about 96 to 100. And with drier air working in, those overnight lows probably get down in the 70s in most spots, maybe around 80 in the urban core. So it's going to feel a little bit more like mid-September as opposed to late August. All right, I hesitate to use the word fall-like, but kinda, right? At least, relative to us. A week from today, Saturday the 30th, troughing is sitting to the north and west of us, a westerly flow. We're dry. The Labor Day weekend looks very quiet if this verifies. High temperatures, maybe at or a little bit below average, upper 90s to about 103 degrees. Sunday, the 31st, same story. Look at that trough over the Pacific Northwest nosing in toward us. Heights, 585 to 588 decameters. I mean, how about that? Goodness. High temperatures, again, at or below average. And overnight lows would be relatively pleasant. Instead of the 90s or upper 80s, we'd have lows in the 70s to near 80. Let's go out 10 days. This is Monday, Labor Day, the 1st of September. And again, we are quiet. We're under the influence of this trough. And this, unfortunately, I hesitate to say this, but this is one of those situations where it sure looks like kind of that transitional time. I know we really haven't had much of a monsoon, but once we get into September and you see these deeper troughs coming in and these more pronounced, broader southwest flow regimes that set up across the area, it kind of signals an end to the monsoon. Of course, insert comment, when did it even begin, Mike? I know, I get you. But high temperatures would still be at or perhaps below average if this verifies. I mean, upper heights are only about 588 decameters here. So, highs upper 90s to about 103 degrees. All right. And let's take a look at rainfall for Phoenix out through the 6th of September off the GFS ensemble. The ensemble mean about a half an inch. European ensemble is a little less than that. You actually have a few members in this ensemble, this 51-member ensemble, that show absolutely nothing over the next couple of weeks. The European AI ensemble is a little bit higher than that, up above 3/4 of an inch for the ensemble mean. But almost all of these members really start to dry us out toward the very end of next week and into that Labor Day weekend. Temperatures off the national blend of models. Okay, we're above average today. Tomorrow, Monday. But then look at that. We're going to struggle to make 100 degrees in the middle part of the week. It really depends on clouds and precipitation, but either way, below average. We'll recover a little bit perhaps by that following weekend, but the air will be drier, and I think low temperatures might be lower than what's shown here. Certainly for most of you, they will be. This is Sky Harbor Airport. Aside from right there, downtown Phoenix, the heart of the urban core, I think a lot of folks are going to see lows in the 70s by next weekend. And that will feel amazing. And in fact, if current trends play out, the coolest desert spots might even dip into the upper 60s, dare I suggest. All right, that's going to do it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. My next video back here tomorrow morning. Should you happen to enjoy these videos, be sure to subscribe, like, share, click that notification bell, leave those comments, questions, and suggestions. If you're really enjoying what we do here, you want to support the channel, click that thanks icon below the video here on YouTube, make a monetary contribution to us, or donate via PayPal. groffshow@gmail.com is that PayPal address. It's groffshow@gmail.com for PayPal. Our Venmo, that's also linked up in the description. So, yeah. Help support this channel, keep the lights on for us. All right. The executive producer of the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion is my OAO, the sweetest of all time, the Asian sensation, that proprietor of sweetchildaz.com.org and the Facebook page of the same name, Sweet Child Arizona, talking about my Michelle. Check her out, blogs, videos, everything that could possibly be Michelle related. And almost certainly Adriana related. It's all linked up down in the description, so check that out. Our streaming station available 24/7, 365. It's called KMGX. We play a ton of music and have a lot of fun with that. And check out Dan over there at the Courtroom Files YouTube channel. The Courtroom Files, often imitated, never duplicated. Tonight at 8 East, 5 Pacific, over there on the Courtroom Files channel, Dan plays video games. How's that related to court? It's not. It's his channel. He gets to do what he wants. If he wants to play canasta, mahjong, if he wants to play craps, roulette, whatever. I support it. You should support it. He's a friend of the channel. He's a friend of ours, and he would be a friend to you if you cuddle up to him. All right. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. All of your continued support. It is so greatly appreciated. Please be safe. Stay cool, stay hydrated out there, and have yourselves a beautiful rest of your Saturday.